The Russo-Japanese War, fought between 1904 and 1905, was a pivotal moment in world history. It pitted the rising empire of Japan against the established European power of Russia. The conflict was a clash of ambitions in East Asia. Both nations sought to expand their influence and secure valuable territories. The war had profound implications for both countries and the international order. It marked the first time that an Asian power had defeated a major European power in a modern war. This victory had a significant impact on the balance of power in Asia and beyond. The Russo-Japanese War was characterized by brutal fighting, technological innovations, and significant political consequences. It also set the stage for future conflicts in the region and influenced the course of the 20th century. The war was a testament to the changing dynamics of global power and the growing importance of East Asia on the world stage. It remains a crucial event for understanding the complexities of international relations and the enduring legacies of imperialism. The roots of the Russo-Japanese War lay in the competing imperial ambitions of Russia and Japan. Both countries sought to expand their influence in East Asia, particularly in Manchuria and Korea. Russia, driven by its desire for a warm water port in the Pacific, aimed to control Port Arthur, now known as Lushenkou District, Dalian, China. This strategic location offered Russia a crucial foothold in the region. Japan, on the other hand, viewed Korea as essential to its national security and economic interests. It feared Russian encroachment into the Korean peninsula. Japan had already established a strong presence in Korea. They were determined to prevent Russia from gaining a dominant position. The territorial disputes over Manchuria and Korea were exacerbated by economic competition and growing nationalism in both countries. Russia's Trans-Siberian Railway, nearing completion, threatened Japan's access to resources in Manchuria. Meanwhile, Japan's rapid industrialization and military modernization fueled its confidence and ambitions for regional dominance. These factors created a volatile mix of tensions that ultimately led to the outbreak of war. Diplomatic efforts to resolve the disputes proved unsuccessful, and in February 1904, Japan launched a surprise attack on the Russian fleet at Port Arthur. The siege of Port Arthur, lasting from February 1904 to January 1905, was a pivotal moment in the Russo-Japanese War. It was a brutal and costly battle for both sides, demonstrating the changing nature of modern warfare. The siege began with a surprise Japanese attack on the Russian fleet at Port Arthur. This audacious move gave Japan an early advantage in the conflict. The Japanese then laid siege to the heavily fortified city, determined to capture this strategic port. The siege was characterized by fierce fighting, heavy casualties, and innovative tactics. The Japanese employed trench warfare, human wave attacks, and powerful artillery bombardments to break through Russian defenses. The Russians, for their part, mounted a stubborn defense utilizing machine guns, barbed wire, and searchlights to repel the Japanese assaults. The Battle of Tsushima, fought in May 1905, was a decisive naval engagement in the Russo-Japanese War. It ended in a crushing defeat for the Russian Baltic Fleet and cemented Japan's naval supremacy in the region. The battle took place in the Tsushima Strait between Korea and Japan, where the Russian fleet, after a long journey from the Baltic Sea, encountered the waiting Japanese fleet. Admiral Togo Heihachiro, commanding the Japanese fleet, employed superior tactics, training, and firepower to decimate the Russian ships. The Japanese ships, faster and more maneuverable, inflicted heavy damage on the Russian fleet. The battle was a disaster for Russia, losing 8 battleships, numerous cruisers and destroyers, and thousands of sailors. The Battle of Tsushima had profound implications for the outcome of the war. It demoralized Russia, shattered its naval prestige, and effectively ended any hopes of Russia achieving its objectives in East Asia. Section 5. Land battles: Mukden and the struggle for Manchuria. While the siege of Port Arthur and the Battle of Tsushima marked significant turning points, the Russo-Japanese War was also fiercely contested on land. The Battle of Mukden, fought in February and March 1905, was the largest land battle fought up to that point in human history. It involved hundreds of thousands of troops from both sides clashing in bitter winter conditions. The battle raged for weeks, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Japanese army, under the command of Field Marshal Oyama Iwao, eventually emerged victorious. They pushed the Russians back, but the victory came at a high cost. The Battle of Mukden highlighted the brutality and logistical challenges of modern warfare. Both sides employed massive armies, extensive trench systems, and innovative tactics. The battle also demonstrated the importance of logistics and industrial capacity in sustaining large-scale military operations. Section 6. Technological advancements, a new era of warfare. The Russo-Japanese War witnessed significant technological advancements that transformed the nature of warfare. Both sides employed new weapons and technologies that would shape the battlefields of the 20th century. One of the most notable innovations was the widespread use of rapid-fire artillery. These guns could fire explosive shells at a much faster rate than older artillery pieces, significantly increasing firepower and causing devastating casualties. Machine guns, another key technological development, proved highly effective in defensive warfare. They could mow down advancing infantry, making frontal assaults costly and difficult. The Russo-Japanese War also saw the first use of radio communication in warfare. This technology allowed for improved coordination and command and control on the battlefield. Section 7. Global ramifications, shifting power dynamics. The Russo-Japanese War had profound global ramifications, signaling a shift in the balance of power and challenging European dominance. Japan's victory over Russia, a major European power, sent shockwaves through the international system. It demonstrated that European hegemony was not unassailable and inspired nationalist movements in other parts of Asia and Africa. The war also had significant implications for the United States. President Theodore Roosevelt played a key role in mediating the peace negotiations, which resulted in the Treaty of Portsmouth. This marked the emergence of the United States as a major player in East Asian affairs. Section 8. The Treaty of Portsmouth, ending the conflict. The Treaty of Portsmouth, signed in September 1905, formally ended the Russo-Japanese War. The treaty, mediated by President Theodore Roosevelt, reflected Japan's victory, but also highlighted the limitations of its success. Under the terms of the treaty, Russia ceded the southern half of Sakhalin Island to Japan. Russia also recognized Japan's sphere of influence in Korea and agreed to evacuate its troops from Manchuria. Additionally, Russia granted Japan lease rights to Port Arthur and the Liaodong Peninsula. While the Treaty of Portsmouth marked the end of the war, it did not fully satisfy Japan's ambitions. Section 9. Legacy of the War, Lessons Learned and Future Conflicts. The Russo-Japanese War had a lasting legacy, shaping future conflicts and international relations. The war highlighted the importance of industrial capacity, technological innovation, and national unity in modern warfare. It also demonstrated the devastating potential of new technologies, such as rapid-fire artillery and machine guns. The war's impact on Japan was particularly significant. The victory over Russia solidified Japan's position as a major power in Asia. It also fueled Japanese imperialism and militarism, contributing to Japan's expansionist policies in the decades that followed. Section 10. Conclusion, a pivotal moment in history. The Russo-Japanese War was a pivotal moment in world history, marking the decline of European dominance and the rise of Japan as a major power. The war's impact on international relations, technological advancements, and the balance of power resonated throughout the 20th century. The conflict highlighted the changing dynamics of global power and the growing importance of East Asia on the world stage. The war's legacy continues to shape our understanding of international relations and the enduring legacies of imperialism.